Hey lovely subscribers, today I want to give you some quick acupressure tips for pain, particularly back pain. When you're in pain, wowee, it can be really excruciating. I love that video clip. Thank you, David, who let us use that. So if you've ever had pain, wowee, it can just be taking over your life and incredibly disruptive. And back pain is one of those things that can just like really suddenly kind of come on. So today I'm going to give you some acupressure points you can use for pain when it's just excruciating and you're not sure whatever else you can do before you can even get in the car to go and see a practitioner. I'm going to show you them on your hand. It's very simple and easy to use. You can either use your hands, your own fingers, or you can actually use the back of a pen or a pencil to kind of press on there, not the pointy end but the other end. So I'm going to show you with the pen, and I'm also going to show you with my own hand how you would do it. So what this is for is when your back is really stiff, so if it's in your lower back area here, or even if it's in your neck and the upper back area, I'll show you a couple of different variations you can use. So what you want to do is go in between the knuckles on your hands, so this part here, particularly right here, and particularly here. Now there's actually 4 points on your hands that can be used. I'm going to use this Sharpie marker to show you exactly where these points are, and you can feel around on your wrist to find the most sore spot in those areas. So if you make a fist and you feel between the 4th and 5th metacarpal bones here, and the 2nd and 3rd, so your 1st and 2nd kind of fingers here, not the thumb, that area there, and then there's also some points back here. So these are considered distal points, which means they're away from the area. So this would be more for your neck, and this would be more for your lower back, but they can all be used, and depending on which are the most sore points. So I would try to find the most sore points out of these areas that feel sore for you, and they're right in between those bones. So what you want to do is get the back of your pen and push in there, and what you want to do is as you're pressing in there, it's going to feel sore, heavy, tingly. It shouldn't feel too painful for you. So if you're pressing so hard with the pen or your finger that's hurting here too much, then just back off the pressure a little bit. So what you want to do is press on there, and I'm going to show you what I would do. Press it like that, and then you kind of try to move your back. If your back is stiff, you would actually do this. So you're kind of bowing, bobbing forward, back and forward. Now if it's so stiff and you can't get out of bed, you would press these points first. After you've pressed them for about 2 or 3 minutes, so give them a really good press and just lie there pressing, then slowly try to move your back by sort of bending your knees and just kind of trying to move your knees from side to side. Please see a practitioner, obviously, if there's something that is undiagnosed there and you're not sure about it. Don't do any movements that are feeling uncomfortable for you. But this is kind of a way of helping to loosen things up as you get walking, as you get moving. Stiffness is something where cold kind of contracts and gets into the area. So you could also use a hot pack. You could also use a hairdryer, blow that onto your back in combination with these points. Another point on your hand that's often used is whole shi, small intestine 3. This point kind of is related to, if not your small intestine channel, this area on your hand kind of relates to your back. If this was sort of the waist of your body, this would be kind of coming up to sort of like your mid-back area. It's often a sore little spot. So how do we do that? You can either create a little fist, and then there's a little bulge there. You can press into that, or use the pen directing it as if it's going to slide under the knuckles, and not to get too gross, but that's kind of how we needle it. We kind of needle it underneath there. We don't go too far, but it can be needled all the way through that way, like down that way. So you want to pretend that's a little acupressure kind of pen, and you're directing it right in there. Now I might have to hold the pen. I'm trying to do it so you can see what I'm doing, but you might just hold it at the base there and just use either the pen to push into it or use your hand to push into the pen like that. And so you will be doing that, and then you would be moving. Now this point's also used for neck stiffness. So if you've woken up with a neck that's sort of stuck to one side, you would kind of do this and then move your neck. Obviously you wouldn't be able to do it that far. You just kind of go slowly doing that. And these points can be useful just to get you going so that you can then go and see a practitioner. Acupuncture and acupressure are very useful for back pain and any kinds of pain. Acupuncture is well known to treat that. And there's several ways that an acupuncturist would then go about treating someone with that extreme neck stiffness or lower back pain. So I'm going to make some more videos about how we would do that, and you can click the link below to find out more about what I do. If you're in Perth and you want to book an appointment with me, I see patients a lot for pain and things like that in the acupuncture clinic. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then go and see someone who's local to you. Obviously, we cannot do acupuncture through the internet. You need to go and see someone local. I do online consultations for herbs for people, but for something like pain, you need to see a local practitioner because they need to do it on you. So this is something that's like considered bread and butter of what acupuncturists do. You'd have to be a terrible acupuncturist to not be able to help with these kinds of pains. It's a very common thing to use those distal points as part of the treatment. They may do what I said, like put them in and then get you to walk around and move around with the needles in, or you may lie on the table. Often I'll use these points before we get to the rest of the treatment because these points kind of loosen up that lower back area as well. So click on the next video and I'll go through a longer sort of situation of how we would treat lower back pain and sciatica and stuff like that. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So thank you, David, for letting us use part of his song. I really love that Pungza song. Go and check it out on YouTube. I'll put the link for that in the description below.